How do I know if I truly love God? How do I measure my love for God? The degree to which we love God is measured by the degree to which we love our neighbor. If the love of our neighbor is the foundation of the love of God, then how do I measure my love for my neighbor? Sacrifice. Sacrifice is the measurement of our love. The cross is the love of God. The cross is the measurement of our love for people. Using some of the spiritual insights of that great saint, Paisios of Athos. First, St. Paul says we must bear the infirmities of the weak. St. Paisios says that our goal as Christians should always be to think of the problems and the pain of other people. When we put the infirmities and the weaknesses and the problems of others before our own, it is then that a miracle happens. God does not abandon those who take upon themselves the infirmities of others. And St. Paisios shared his own experience of this. He recounts a time when he had a hernia that was very painful and that would keep him bedridden. When someone rang his doorbell, he would go out and meet them despite the pain. If someone came to see him with a serious problem, he would no longer feel the pain of his hernia. The miracle happens when someone can be compassionate and feel the other's pain. It is this very pain that moves God and brings about the miracle. St. Paul says we must please our neighbor rather than ourselves. In other words, we put the needs of others before our own needs, even if that means being inconvenienced. St. Paisios says that the good we do is only good if we sacrifice something from ourselves when we do it. Some sleep or some rest or time or financial resources. St. Paisios says, when I am at ease and do some good, it does not have the same value. But when I am tired and someone asks me, let's say for directions, and I do it, then it has value. Or when I have had plenty of sleep and then I stay up all night with someone who needs help, this does not have great value. And if I am fond of the conversation, I may do this in order to enjoy the company and be myself entertained for a while. Whereas, when I am tired and I make a sacrifice to help someone, then I experience heavenly joy. It is then that I am bombarded with the blessing of God. According to St. Paisios, when a person has a sense of sacrifice, he does not complain, he rather rejoices. That's the key, he says. And the final point, St. Paul says, we must receive one another even as Christ has also received us. In receiving our neighbor, we are in fact receiving Christ himself. What you do to the least of my brethren, you do unto me. Imagine living your life and treating everyone that you encounter as if they are Christ in disguise. If that was Christ doing the dishes, you would offer to help. If that was Christ cleaning, you'd give him a hand. The cross is the measure of our love for our neighbor, and our love for our neighbor is the measure of our love for God. True joy comes from sacrifice, because sacrifice is love. Where the world is preaching this false gospel of self-help. Focus on yourself. It's okay to say no. Do what's best for you. Many young adults are running away from responsibility and rejecting the idea that sacrifice brings true joy. They don't want to be inconvenienced for the sake of others. And this has resulted in so much depression, anxiety, and laziness. This is because we refuse to embrace sacrifice. Saint Paisios continues, only when we sacrifice ourselves can we be related to Christ, for Christ is sacrifice.